morning, dear students. Today we will discuss potential due to an electric dipole. Okay, so we will start with an electric dipole. What is an electric dipole? So, the first heading is electric dipole. Now, I am going to explain what is electric dipole. Two equal and opposite charges separated by a distance 2L makes an electric dipole. So, minus Q plus Q, they are separated by distance 2L, it makes an electric dipole. The next important term about electric dipole is dipole moment. So, electric dipole moment is represented by the letter P. It's a vector quantity, and dipole moment is the product of the charge and distance between the two charges. Okay, it is the product of charge, any one of the charge Q, into the distance between the two charges 2L. So, electric dipole moment is P is equal to Q into 2L. It is a vector quantity. Now, since it's a vector quantity, its direction should be taken into consideration. So, electric dipole moment has direction from minus to plus. Direction of electric dipole moment is minus to plus. Now, again, as what we have discussed in the electric field intensity, we had also discussed the positions of the electric dipole and finding out the intensity in different cases, like the end-on position and the broadside on position. Similarly, we have two positions, to end-on position and broadside on position, or axial position along the axis or along the perpendicular bisector, to find out the potential of the dipole. Okay, so at along the axis or along the perpendicular bisector, we will find out the electric potential due to an electric dipole. So, we will start with the point along the axis of the electric dipole. We will find out the electric potential at a point on the axis of the dipole. So, let us take a dipole here. We have taken a dipole. This is the axis of the dipole. We have taken P here. Okay. This the dipole is of two length 2L. We have taken the midpoint as O, L and L, and from the midpoint we have taken the distance of the point P equal to R. Okay, the P here denotes the direction of the dipole moment. It is from the negative to positive. R, the distance of the point P from the center, is much greater than the length of the dipole. Now, what are we going to do? We will find out the electric potential due to the charges plus Q and minus Q at the point P along the axis of the dipole. So, first we will find out due to positive charge plus Q, that is V1. So, V1 is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R minus L. The distance from this point is R minus L. So, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R minus L. Then, the electric potential due to negative charge minus Q charge is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught minus Q R plus L, minus Q upon R plus L. So, we have found out both potential due to both negative and positive charge. Now, we will find out the resultant of the electric potentials due to negative and positive charge at the point P. So, resultant V, since electric potential is a scalar quantity, we will have the summation of the potentials due to negative and positive charge along with the sign. So, V is equal to V1 plus V2. Now, R minus L is a smaller quantity, so the value of V1 will be greater. So, we write here 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into Q, 1 upon R minus L minus 1 upon R plus L. On solving, what we get? Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught 2L upon R square minus L square. Now, Q into 2L, that is 2QL. This is equal to dipole moment. So, instead of 2QL, we substitute the value P. 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught P upon R square minus L square. Since R is much greater than L, then square of R will be much greater than L square. So, we can ignore L square. So, from the later we ignore L square, we get the formula for the net potential at the point P. This is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught P upon R square volt. Is it clear? So the electric dipole, the potential at the axis of the electric dipole is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught P upon R square volt. Now the second one is potential at a point on the equatorial line of the dipole. Equatorial line means on the perpendicular bisector of the dipole. Okay, so we will take a point on the perpendicular bisector of the dipole and we will find out the potential at that point due to the minus q and plus q, that is due to the dipole. So here I have drawn a diagram here, A and B. There are charges minus q and plus q that are separated by 2l distance, and O is the midpoint. This is the perpendicular bisector at which at the distance r I have taken a point P. So P is the point at the distance r. At this point I have to find out the electric potential. Okay, so we join this point P to the point A and B. The distance AP is taken out by Pythagoras theorem under root r square plus L square. This is the distance from the point A and from the point B. Now electric potential due to a point charge is given by the formula 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q upon r. So we use this formula. First, V1 is the potential due to the positive charge, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q upon root r square plus L square. And then we find out the potential due to the negative charge, V2. V2 equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught minus q on root r square plus L square. Okay. Now, since potential is a scalar quantity, we will add them up along with the sign. So V is equal to V1 minus V2, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q on root r square plus L square minus q on root r square plus L square. These two values are same, q plus q and minus q. So it becomes 0. So potential at the point P due to the electric dipole is 0. Okay. Now we will start with the potential at any point. We have discussed two cases where in one case we had found out the resultant potential at the point on the axis of the electric dipole. Second one at the perpendicular bisector of the electric dipole. Third one, we will find out the potential at any point. So in general, any point can be taken. So let us take P a point. Let us take P a point anywhere near the electric dipole. The distance of the point from the center of the electric dipole is r. Okay. So we will find out the coordinates of P. So the coordinates of P are r and theta. These are the polar coordinates of the point P. So polar coordinates of the point P are r and theta. We will drop a perpendicular. From A and B to OP. Okay, we will drop a perpendicular so that we get the values of VP and AP. Now BP is equal to, if we drop the perpendicular here, the inclination of this OP is theta from the electric dipole. So we will find out the value here. So the value of OC is L cos theta and OD is also L cos theta. Is it clear? So the distance BP will be equal to CP, which is equal to R minus L cos theta. This BP will be equal to CP. This is equal to R minus L cos theta. Similarly, AP will be equal to BP, which will be equal to R plus L cos theta. Clear? So AP is equal to PD and BP is equal to CP. Now we will find out the electric potential due to the negative charge and the positive charge. So potential V1 is the potential due to the positive charge. This is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon Vp. So instead of Vp, we will write the value here R minus L cos theta. So 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R minus L cos theta. Similarly, we will find out the potential due to negative charge. Negative charge 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon Ap. The value of Ap is equal to dP, which is equal to R plus L cos theta. So we substitute this value here. 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R plus L cos theta. Now, we have to find out the potential at the point P due to these two charges, minus and plus. Net potential is to be found out. Net potential is the sum, V equal to V1 plus V2. We substitute these values of V1 and V2. We get Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught 1 upon R minus L cos theta minus 1 upon R plus L cos theta. On solving, we get Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught 2L cos theta R square minus L square cos square theta. R square minus L square cos theta. Now, as we know that 2QL is P, the electric dipole movement. So we substitute the value here, it will become P cos theta. Okay. So instead of 2QL, what we will get? We will get P, which is electric dipole moment. So what is left in the numerator is P cos theta. Now in the denominator we have R square minus L square cos square theta. Since the distance R is much greater than the L, R is very large, R is greater than L, then R square will be much greater than L square. So we will ignore this L square. So what do we get? Only R square. So electric dipole movement, electric potential at any point P due to an electric dipole is given by the formula 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught P cos theta upon R square. Okay, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught P cos theta upon R square. Now P is a vector quantity. Okay, P is a vector quantity. So if we multiply with the displacement vector R, here we can get in vector notation, the formula will come out to be V is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught P dot R upon R cube. So this is the formula for electric potential in vector form. 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught P dot R. Okay, P dot R upon R cube. As you know, the vector product A dot V is equal to AB cos theta. So we multiply R, the displacement vector of the point B, from top numerator and denominator. We got P dot R upon R cube. Now we compare this. Comparing the result with the potential due to a point charge, we see that in a fixed direction, that is fixed theta, V is inversely proportional to R square. V is inversely proportional to R square. Here, okay, but if we find that potential is due to electric dipole, it is inversely proportional to R square. But due to a charge, a discrete charge, it is inversely proportional to R. We have the formula due to a point charge 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R. Whereas due to an electric dipole, it is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught P upon R square. Is it clear? Even for a fixed distance R, there is now a dependence in direction, that is on the theta. Even for fixed distance R, there is now a dependence on the angle theta. We put the value theta equal to 90. If we put the value of theta equal to 90, then it will come in the perpendicular bisector. That is the second case. And cos 90 is 0. So what were we getting electric potential in the second case? It was equal to 0. And if we put theta equal to 0, that is along the axis. If we put theta equal to 0 along the axis, that is the first case, the point is lying along the axis of the electric dipole, then cos 0 is 1. Then you are getting the electric potential equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q p upon r square. Okay. Now work done in rotating an electric dipole in electric field. We are placing an electric dipole in an electric field. Then what will happen? It will experience a force because F is equal to QE. So what will happen? If we place an electric dipole in electric field, it will start rotating. Okay, it will experience a force and will start to rotate. So certain amount of work will be done. We will calculate out the work done when an electric dipole rotates by an angle theta. Is it clear? So let us see this. We have an electric dipole that has been placed in a uniform electric field. So these lines are showing the electric field placed at equal distance. So they are uniform electric field. An electric dipole is being placed in the electric field. Its dipole moment is Q into 2L. So since there is a dipole that has been placed in the electric field, it will experience a force. So force minus QE and plus QE. Plus QE in the direction of the electric field and minus QE in the opposite direction of the electric field. As a result, there are two forces that are acting in the opposite direction. Two forces that are acting in the opposite direction separated by a certain distance, they'll form a couple. So a couple force will act on the electric dipole, and couple, what does a couple do? It rotates the object on which the couple is acting. So there will be a torque that will be acting. So torque is given by the formula tau is equal to PE sin theta, where theta is the angle which is made by the dipole to the electric field intensity or electric line of forces. Now this is the force that is acting. So rotating force is tau is equal to PE sin theta. Now what will happen? Let us consider that the electric dipole rotates by an angle d theta, by a very small angle d theta. So the work done in rotating the electric dipole by angle d theta is dw is equal to tau into d theta. That is equal to PE sin theta d theta. That is equal to PE sin theta d theta. This is the small amount of work that is being done. Let the initial angle be theta 1 and the final angle at which the dipole rests be theta 2. So we will integrate within the limits theta 1 and theta 2. So what we will get? W is equal to integration theta 1 theta 2 PE sin theta d theta. What we will get? We will get the values PE. This is on solving. This is equal to PE cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. So work done will be equal to PE cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. Okay, that is the work done. So this is the formula for the work done by a electric dipole when it is placed in an electric field. Now, if the dipole is rotated from its equilibrium position is when theta is 0, that is the electric dipole is placed parallel to the electric field. It makes an angle theta will be 0 only when the electric dipole is placed parallel to the electric field. In that case, if initial angle theta 1 is 0, then what we will get? Theta 1 is 0, cos 0 is 1. So value will be W is equal to PE 1 minus cos theta. So first case, if theta 1 equal to 0, then W will be equal to PE 1 minus cos theta. Final angle is theta. So PE 1 minus cos theta. if the dipole is rotated by an angle 90 degree, suppose the dipole moves and becomes 90 degree perpendicular to the electric field, then theta 2 will be 90 and cos 90 will be 0. So work done will be equal to PE. Okay, if theta is equal to 90 degree, if theta 2 is equal to 90 degree, then W is equal to PE. Okay, is it clear? And if the dipole rotates by an angle 180 degree, if theta 2 becomes 180 degree, then W is equal to minus 2P. Then W is equal to minus plus, that will become equal to 2PE. It will become 2PE. So we will put the value here. Cos 180 is minus 1, 1 minus 1 plus 1, so twice PE. So that is the maximum amount of work will be done when we rotate the dipole completely by an angle of 180 degree. Okay. Next we have electric potential energy of an electric dipole in an electric field. The potential energy of an electric dipole in an electric field is equal to the work done in bringing the dipole from infinity to inside the field. You are bringing the dipole from infinity inside the field. So we have a figure here. There is a dipole. It is being brought from infinity inside the uniform electric field. A dipole consists of positive and negative charge, plus Q and minus Q. So there will be force that will be acting on the dipole. So on the charge plus, the force will be QE, positive. Okay. It is being brought against the electric field. So there will be a repulsive force. Work has to be done by an external agent in bringing the positive charge from infinity inside the electric field. Then the next one is minus Q charge. So it is the direction of the force will be opposite to the direction of the electric field. Since it is minus Q charge, so work will be obtained in the case of minus Q charge when it is being brought inside the electric field. So it is coming in the direction opposite of the electric field, so work will be obtained. So what we consider here, when we are bringing a dipole up to this point, both the positive and the negative charge will do equal amount of work. Why? Because in this case the force will be plus QE into whatever is the distance from infinity to this point, and work will be done by an external agent, and minus Q work will be obtained in when we bring the charge dipole from infinity to this point. So work done will be equal to 0 up to this point. Okay. In one case, due to positive charge, we are doing certain work due to the external agent, and minus Q charge we are getting the same work. But once the minus Q charge moves a 2L distance ahead, so that is the extra amount of work that is done by the dipole. When minus Q charge moves 2L distance more than the plus Q charge, this much distance displacement is greater than the plus Q charge, so this much extra amount of work is done by the electric dipole. So work done is equal to force into displacement. Force is QE into dl. So work done will be equal to QE into dl. So that is equal to Q into 2L is P. Work done will be equal to minus PE. Why minus? Because force is negative. Okay, it is opposite to the direction of the electric field. So this work done is stored in the form of potential energy, that is electric potential energy of the dipole. So this is represented by the letter U naught. U naught is equal to minus P. Okay. Now this is when the dipole is moving. Now once the dipole is rotating, when once the dipole is placed in electric field, okay, so there will be certain amount of work done in rotating the dipole in the field through an angle theta. The work done in rotating the dipole placed in electric field is given by the formula W is equal to PE 1 minus cos theta. This is the amount of work done in rotating an electric dipole when placed in a magnetic field. So net work done, okay, net work done or result in the increase of potential energy of dipole when the dipole rotates by an angle theta is given by u is equal to u theta. When what is happening now? Translatory motion plus rotatory motion both are taking place. So u naught plus w, that is equal to minus PE plus PE 1 minus cos theta, and that is equal to minus PE cos theta. Okay, so this is equal to minus PE cos theta. So when the dipole is being brought in the electric field and it is also rotating, then the net amount of potential energy of the electrode dipole is equal to minus PE cos theta, which is equal to, both P and E are vector quantities, so u theta will be equal to minus P dot E. It is dependent upon theta. Now if the electrical potential energy is dependent upon theta, it will depend upon the angle, where theta is the angle that the dipole makes with the electric field or electric line of forces. Now if theta equal to 90 degree, that is the axis of the dipole is perpendicular to the electric field. In that case, if we put theta equal to 90 here, then the potential energy will be equal to 0. In the other ways also we can consider this here. If the dipole is brought minus q and plus q in the electric field, then what will happen? It will travel the same distance from infinity to the given point, then work done will be the same, so potential energy will be equal to 0. So if theta equal to 0, then the potential energy of the electric dipole will be equal to 0. And if theta equal to 0, okay, if theta is equal to 0, then the dipole is considered to be in the stable equilibrium. In this equation, the potential energy will be equal to minus PE. That is, they'll have the least potential energy. Okay. If the theta equal to 0, that is, the axis is lying along the electric line of force, that is electric field, then in that case, the electric dipole is said to be in equilibrium, and the potential energy of the electric dipole will be least, that will be equal to minus PE. And the third and the last case, if the dipole is rotated by an angle 180 degree, if theta is equal to, so we'll write down the cases. Theta equal to 0, u will be 0, u theta will be equal to 0. If theta equal to 90 degree, then cos if theta equal to 90 degree, then u equal 0. If theta is equal to 0, then u theta will be equal to minus P, that is least, and if theta is equal to 180 degree, then u theta will be positive P, and it will have maximum potential energy, and that is, it will be an unstable equilibrium. So okay, that's stable equilibrium. So we have completed with the lesson. Any doubts you can ask